Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial on SkyCiv Structural 3D. Today we're going to take you through an example of how to mesh your plate in SkyCiv. My name's Sam. I'm going to take you through this simple example. So I've already got a model here. It's a slab supported by some columns. I've got a few beams as well on the outside. So we're going to show you how you can use the SkyCiv meshing capabilities to make this a lot easier when you're meshing your plate. So we've recently added some more functionality to make things a lot easier, a lot more transparent, and a lot more control to the user when they're meshing their plates. So I'm starting out with a simple concrete plate here. It's a 6-node element, so there's a perimeter marked out by the 6 nodes. And to mesh that plate, I'm just going to right click and hit mesh plate. And you can see my mesher has popped up here. If I've got more plates in my model, I can hit select all or control, comma separate the plates that I like to include. But in this example, we've just got a single plate, which is plate ID 2, so I'm just going to leave that as 2. And we have a few mesh parameters, so we can control, the granularity of the mesh or the type of mesh that we're doing. You can do a structured quadrilateral. We recommend using structured quadrilaterals when you have a square or rectangular plate, and you can control the number of divisions. So you get pretty good results out of using a structured quadrilateral where you can. But then in more complex plates such as this example, we're going to look to the unstructured quadrilaterals because we do have 6 nodes. It's not a rectangular shape, and we also have some internal nodes and beams that we want to detect and then connect to. So in this case, we're going to use an unstructured quadrilateral. We've got a few different types of meshing methods that we can use depending on your needs and also what level of meshing that you require in terms of what it's connecting to and the results you need. I'm just going to stick to a frontal mesh. And you've got control over the level of granularity. So you can use a slider anywhere between coarse and fine. So coarse is obviously very much larger elements, less elements, and fine you can have a lot more elements, very small quadrilateral meshes. Otherwise you can specify a physical size. So we might play around with this now just to get an idea of how that works. So I'll leave that somewhere in the middle, and you can see that's sort of mid-range level of granularity. And I can go back and play around with this slider, or I can even put in a physical size, like say 2 feet size elements, and the algorithm will build a mesh according to that size. And you can see that's a lot more of a quality mesh in terms of maybe the size or number of elements you want to include for your plate. And we've got this really great and easy change mesh, commit, cancel, so you can actually go through and preview and modify and try different things until you're happy with your mesh, which makes it a lot easier than having to delete all your elements and start again. We're going to now look at sort of including different nodes and members. Now instantly when I right clicked the plate and hit mesh plate, it's already detected that there were some internal members and nodes. So I can see here one that it's picked up this node in node 14 as a column, and it's included that here in this input here, and I can obviously modify this and change this. It's also picked up all the the beams supporting my plate, so I can see it's picked up all the outside beams here along the perimeter, and it's also included this internal beam ID 14, and what that'll do is then, as we saw in the preview, it'll actually pick up and connect that beam as well as that column, that node along the column there. So it's really smart algorithm behind the scenes. It's detecting these elements and then meshing correctly so that you have the plates connected to these other elements as you need. And this tick box here, include other plate edges. So say you have an adjacent plate here, you might have another slab, or you might have like a wall or a retaining wall or something. It'll automatically connect the nodes from that plate to this plate, so you can be assured that the connectivity is maintained throughout the plates, which is really, really important when you're running a structural analysis. So in this case, I think I'm pretty happy with how it's all running, so I'm just going to hit mesh. I've got a few settings here as well, so if I want to clean up this, maybe I don't want to show the nodes, have a little bit of a closer look in terms of the connectivity and the quality of the mesh that we're looking at. I can use that under the visibility, control that under the visibility settings on the right. Another thing we can do as well is I'm just going to go back, and a really great feature is that can simply just unmesh my plate at any time, and that's really useful because I don't have to, again, delete all the elements and start again. I don't have to clear my pressures or any forces that I have on those nodes. It'll automatically unmesh, and that allows me to, you know, develop my model further or make any changes that I need to without, you know, complicating the process. So for instance, in this example, we might build a little cutout here or a hole in the plate. So I'll show you how we can do that as well. I'm going to use make use of the pen tool here, and I'm just going to turn off connect members. And what that'll let me do is just plot nodes from some distance if I like. So maybe I'll just type in 10 feet. So I'm going to do it 10 feet from that edge, and maybe we'll do a 10 by 5 hole. So I'll do like 10 feet there. So you can use this pen tool. It's really quite easy to map out the distances or the dimensions of your hole, and automatically, you know, snap to a particular grid. Again, using that entry there. So in order to cut out a hole, I'm just specifying some nodes there on the plate. So these nodes are all lying on that plate, and once I've defined where my hole is, so I can do some really complex holes, but in this case I'm just going to do a rectangle. I just right click the plate and click plate hole. And when you're entering these in, you want to put them in order, so I'm just going to do clockwise, 18, 17, 16, 15. So you want to maintain that make sure that they're clockwise. You don't want to have them sitting on the edges either of the plate, and you don't want to have them overlapping any other holes that you have in the plate. So it's really important to stick to those few rules. And you can see now I've added a hole, and I can delete that. I can add more holes. So that's really quite useful when you're you know, adding in multiple holes into a plate. So I'm happy with that, and now I want to remesh my structure. So I'm just going to go remesh my plate. I'll just hit mesh, and it's already brought up the settings that I had previously. So you know, I don't need to make any changes, and it's going to detect that there's a hole there. I can use preview if I want beforehand, and that looks like a pretty good quality mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and commit that. There we have it. So I've modeled the plate. I've then added some columns and some beams where I needed to, and then mesh the plate through the SkyCiv mesher in order to get a really high quality mesh that I can now run through my structural analysis. So I hope this helps. Feel free to leave us any comments, or if you have any questions, email us at support@skyciv.com. Otherwise, if you'd like some further reading, I recommend our documentation page, and also reading on, you know, after you solve, how to review and interpret your plate results. So thanks a lot. I look forward to hearing from you.